Hola, Minasan! Welcome back for another round of One Piece. So last time, um, everybody was still fighting. They fought and they fight and they fight and more fighting. They fight in many ways. Then the annoying little kids show up and started fighting. Then Kaya shows up and starts fighting. Everybody started fighting except for the townspeople. The townspeople is not fighting. They're too busy hunting down Usopp. We're getting all sorts of weird matchups, and yeah, it was starting to drag out a little too much for my taste. But hopefully, with this next set of chapters, this will come to an end, and we can move on to the next 20 chapter arc. Was probably the equivalent of 15 episodes. You know how these shonens get these shonen stories. They always got to go for 15 episodes. Oh, do I have a story to tell about Naruto Shippuden? No, Shippuden, was it Shippuden? Yeah, it was Naruto Shippuden. I'm like, you gotta have a good strong mind to watch these shonen to watch a shonen anime. There's a lot that's really excellent and everything. Hopefully one day, One Piece. Who knows? Who knows? Right now, we're doing manga. So I'm wasting too much of your time, aren't I? Yes, get on with it. And let us proceed with, with the next set of chapters. One Piece by Eiichiro Oda, Chapter 37, Captain Kuro of the Thousand Plans. Ooh. The trees could continue wooing the standoff between Luffy and Captain Kudo. The trees whispering and murmuring to each other about how awesome this fight is going to be. Hey, I got money on Luffy. No. Everyone, it's 10 to 1 but for Kyoto. No, Red, I don't like the idea of that man with the knives. He might slice us next. No, go for the straw hat dude. Ooh. And suddenly, Kuro make the first dash, while Luffy stretched his arms back. Duh! Kuro screamed as he lunged forward. Not today, dude. Luffy exposed his armpits and letting the scent waft into the air onto Captain Kuro. There they go! The trees and the pirate crew screamed out, and suddenly Luffy's arms gripped the wrists of Kuro while he was gliding in midair with the sound of a swap. And here comes Luffy flying right at him with his feet stretched out, his sandals aimed at him, about to unleash the typical Spanish chancletas. Kudo somehow managed to pull his arms to in a crisscross manner with a JoJo pose face, and Luffy found himself spitting in the air. Dude. Ugh. Luffy landed head onto the ground hard, his feet sticking up in the air, while staring at Kudo's JoJo pose. And all of a sudden, he began rolling all over the place. Luffy just tumbling on like a rag doll in a GTA game. But he pulls off a Matrix style hand slide and started screaming, "Gum Gum!" Kudo stood there unimpressed. Whip! And here comes Luffy's foot flying through the air. Kudo jumped like a cat with the sound of a boing. He goes, ugh. And he T-posed on Luffy. It was the ultimate insult. Luffy's so mad he pulled his arm back and stretched it out. And pistol! And he let loose his punch, stretching all across at the T-posing Kudo. He merely leaned back Matrix style with a smile on his face. I learned this from Neo, he said, and disappeared as the punch stretched all the way out. The crowd was aghast. The trees swayed, And Kuro stood by, adjusting his glasses with the palm of his hands. Hey, dude, Luffy said. For he found Kuro standing in a cross-like JoJo pose on his arm. You bore me, boy. He's standing on him! The crowd screamed out. He's standing on his arm. And the tree spoke. I didn't see that coming. Stupid child. Luffy gripped his arm, ready to pull it back, retract it back to him, and Kuro just ran along his arm in the most epic way possible and got right at him with the blades ready to slice. Ah, dude. Kuro smiled, and rather than delivering a punch, he kneed him in the face, stretching his whole entire head inward like a stretch Armstrong toy, and then he let the leg rip, and Luffy flew into the air, tumbling around like with ragdoll physics, all the way down the slope, in the style of John Wick. Ow, dude. Ugh, dude. Not righteous, dude. And the crowd spoke. That straw hat boy was supposed to be really tough. That's Captain Kuro for you. And the tree said, man, I'm going to lose my money if that kid dies. Oh, I know what you mean. Patooey, dude. Luffy said as he spat out a drop of blood. Darn, I cut my lip. Murder him! Hooray for Kuro! The crowd wore out, and the trees go, ooh. Kuro, Kuro, Kuro. And the captain merely fixed his glasses with the palm of his hand and then screams out, never call me by that name! And a fly entered into his large gaping mouth. And everyone and the whole entire pirate crew fell over, screaming yipe. Luffy was weirded out by that one as he wiped the blood off his cheek. You still don't understand, Kuro said. My plan is to utterly do away with Captain Kuro. He announced at the top of the hill, which he was willing to die on. It tired me. I was bored. I needed something new, a challenge. Crafting 1,000 brilliant plans for slobbering fools with nothing but plunder on their minds. And what did my hard work win me? The entire Navy on my heels. Hunted by the Navy and spies and bounty hunters, I grew sick of the relentless harassment. I won't go there with that one. Luffy was on one knee listening on, pissed off, wondering where his hat was at. So, on that fateful day 3 years ago, I decided I had to die. Oh, that day! The crowd screamed out. Yeah, that incident! And a flashback ensued. Lieutenant Django! What is it? Captain Kuro's calling you. Oh, sorry. What is it, Jetman? Captain Kuro's calling you. Django, Captain Kuro of the 1,000 Planets 3 years ago, sat laid back on his lounge chair, reading a book that says SDDM. I'm leaving the ship, he said. Huh? Jetman? Right now, all of a sudden? What do you mean you leave, Jetman? This is your ship. You're the captain. Captain? You take the title. You'd make good with the trees. Being a pirate doesn't agree with me anymore. I've had my fill. It is quite the boring. I want to be rich, not chaste. Captain Kuro. The ship is coming from the north. Again, it's the third time this week. You see what I mean, Django? I'm having stress. I need to go see a therapist. They're firing on us! and there was a loud boom. It rattled the whole ship. Things were falling over, and all Captain Kuro could do was throw his arms up in frustration. You see, this is my life. It's just an occupational hazard, Jumbo. We rob, we pillage, they chase, and we made ourselves a reputation, like climbing up the trees. No, that is your reputation, Django. Our reputation was to draw out these sharks, which we shouldn't have, and Captain Kuro has outlived his usefulness. Har har, Captain. Even if you quit, Jumbo, the authorities will hound you until the day you die. Then I'll die, and the whole world must know it very well. Captain Kuro, shall we see a navy of broadside? Ee-hee. No, lower a boat. A boat? And there he was, riding the rowboat far away from his ship as the whole entire crew watched on. There he goes, running up to his name as Captain Do, and he brought out to the Navy ship. Does he want to get hanged? And he disappeared into the shadow of the boat as the crescent moon sparkled into the night. The cannon fire stopped, but it's awful quiet, one of the crewmates said, looking out. For some reason, with his hand over his eyes as if he was blocking the sun's brightness, even though it was at night. Reckon he got himself croaked. Good. I get to be the captain now. No, you don't. Ready the captain, we'll bird her. Prepare to fight. Ooh. The trees screamed, the ocean screamed down the distance, and there was a loud creak. Everyone stopped with a loud huh? And there they saw it, as the crescent moon shined and brightened the entire deck. The Navy, they've been massacred! And there was Kuo, raising his spiky hands up, as every single naval merchant laid across the ground with pools of blood, inking it in red, inking the deck in red, and making it and filling it up like a pond. Swords sticking out of their guts. Not a single one moved. And Captain Kuro smiled. Well then, time to try my new plan. I know he's our captain, but this gives me goosebumps. Oh, sorry. I know he's our captain, but this gives me goosebumps. Ah, and all of them trained soldiers too. The Cat brothers said. Ooh, the crowd wooed in the background. So, Captain Kuro stood before the oh, that's actually awesome. I see who that is. So, you're still breathing. Such a nice face. Captain Kuro planted his foot on the jaws of his latest victim. I beg you, if you're going to kill me, then kill me. You speak well through a broken jaw. Excellent. You can claim the reward for Captain Kuro of the 1,000 plans. Your name's Captain Kuro. Shaman, this mascara is your work. Shaman, 1, 2, Django. My name is Captain Kuro. A young pirate said, bound into the mast while dressed in Kuro's suit. My name is Captain Kuro, he repeated again, over and over again. Then Django started his hypnosis onto Kuro's latest victim. And you're the man who captured Captain Kuro. Gentlemen, they take the prisoner. 1, 2, Django. Now take the prisoner to your base for execution. and he merely stood there quietly, unsure of what the heck he just saw, but he agreed nevertheless, and started floating the ship away as Captain Kuro put his hands in his pocket, all chill, with his chest laid out bare like a Twilight character. That take care of it. When the imposter dies, Captain Kuro disappears from the world. I'm the man who captured Captain Kuro, Jumbo. And the crew looked on at Django. He hypnotized himself again. Oh, great. And now, with the success of tonight's plans, Captain Kuro said, I'm free to pursue my two goals, wealth and peace of mind. Can you understand now, Brett? Captain Kuro said in the present, standing at the top of the hill looking down at Luffy. There's no room for error in my 3-year plan. And my plans go off course. Kuro dived down with his claws outstretched, aiming at Luffy. Luffy, shocked at what was happening, immediately crouched down with the most glowest of faces, screaming, dude. And he lifted up a giant boulder and held it up onto his belly, just as the swords clanked into the rock. God, dude, my hernia. So, stretching isn't your only talent. I see. You get a free hernia for every attempt. No, dude, I've been trained to resist my hernia, and then I get to be a pirate. Hoo-yah, dude. And suddenly, with one swing of a giant boulder, all the swords on Kuro's right hand snapped off cleanly. What? And the entire crowd was in shock. Yar! He broke the captain's claws. Luffy, still holding on to the rock with his back turned to Kuro, is making another swing with it, says, You say you're tired, dude? If you don't want a reputation, you shouldn't be a pirate. You lack righteousness. And suddenly he struck Kuro with the giant boulder, sending him upside down. And if you want to compare plans, dude, mine's much bigger. Behold my righteousness. To be continued. One Piece, Chapter 37, by Eiichiro Oda. One Piece, by Eiichiro Oda, Chapter 38, Pirate Crew. Boom goes the earth as Luffy dropped the giant boulder with Kuro's claws wedged into them. He looked down at Kuro's body laying splayed out in a near Yamcha style, in absolute pain from being struck by the boulder. Dude, now you only have 5 sword claws. You're weak. Blast him! The pirate crew screamed out, Captain Kuro's claws. Luffy smiled. Kuro slowly lifted his head up. And the crowd roared. Captain Kuro, you still got your claws on your other hair, slice him up. No, you're not supposed to call him that name. Yeah, people in the village call him Claw something. We'll call him Mr. Claw then. Get him, Mr. Claw, just like Inspector Gadget. Shut your gobs. Ooh, the tree shouted out in the distance. I'll deal with you dogs later, and that goes for Django too. Huh? Eh? Luffy went completely silent, hearing after what he heard. The crew stood in shock, their mouths agape as a fly entered their mouths. What? Why us too? The tree swayed as the clouds rolled through, and there was Django with his pendant tick-tocking side to side. And he screamed out, "Open your eyes, Gemma!"
I won't do it.
Kaya said, as as Django continues to sway his hypnotizing thing side to side, and the three kids lay back with Z's across their above their heads.
I won't let you hypnotize me, and I won't write a will.
Come on, or I'm gonna make you climb trees like blanket. All three of those blankets over there, they're sleeping and they're gonna climb the trees soon. All three kids were honking along. Whatever they were dreaming of might not have been pretty. Django immediately reached out and grabbed Kaya's face, ready to open it. Then I'll have to pry your eyes open. Tee-hee. Ah. And suddenly the kids jumped on him.
Now's our chance, take this.
Pepper blinding power. They completely started grabbing his face and pulling him away from her. Oh, a chip, tee-hee, yo. Oh. The apple-haired kid struck Django in his tee-hees as he screams out, ooh, achoo, ooh, achoo. Kaya smiled as she looked at the boys.
You guys,
we were just pretending to be hypnotized, y'all. We wouldn't fall for the same trick twice.
I propose to my plan.
Huff, 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 hee. You brats, where you hiding? The girl's gone too. I should have killed them right out there. And right there on my balls. I should have killed them outright. I can't pronounce right. I can't speak right. So much pain, so much pain. Chamo. Up in the trees, the onion kid held up his shovel as he continued listening to Django speaking out. You want to make a fool of me? I'll let you. You watch. And suddenly he jumped off, and the tree screamed out, "Look out below!" But you're the Thurs. Django immediately grabbed the kid by the throat. Ah! Onion! The kid screamed out as they stood on the branches of the trees. Meanwhile, somewhere far, far away in the forest, "Did you hear that?" Zolo said. "Yeah, it's the kids." Usopp looked around as his blood-soaked face was covered in sweat from the pain. "That way, hurry!" "Right." They continued running. Meanwhile, Django held the onion high up into the air. "You got brats carried away playing pirates. You even got them climbing the trees, which impressed me. But that don't matter. It don't matter. You'll have plenty of time to regret messing with real pirates in hell." And he slammed the kid into the tree. "Ah! You creep!" The kid, his friend screamed out in anger. Meanwhile, back at a hill, "Wait!" The pirates screamed out. The tree screamed out from above as they listened on to the pirate crew down below. "Stop joking, Captain. It's not too late to protect the village, right? Django makes that girl write her will. Your plan will succeed. Don't worry about your heads about my plans. If none of you live to tell the tale, I can pin all the blame on you." And the pirates were shocked. More flies flew into their mouths as they tried to comprehend what he was saying. "I never intended to let any of you leave here alive. I can't let anyone live who knows my true identity. No." "But that means you plan to kill us all along?" "Of course," he said to his pirate crew down below the slope. "Even 3 years ago, when I was still Captain Kuro, it was all part of my plan. It's called 3D chess. You should try playing that sometime." Dude, are you stupid? What's 3D chess? And you guys are a bunch of dumb pirates. Dumb, of course. Pirates are wild dogs, society's cast-offs. Without a leader, they're helpless. Their job was to shut up and follow my plan. Do you not understand how difficult that is to delegate this thing? Micromanaging is a terrible job. Pirates should be faithful pawns to the captain. They should live or die by my command. When I tell them to jump, they jump. When I tell them to sink, they sink. And they should have followed my plan no matter what sprang up to impede them. They should have died trying to fulfill my plan. The entire pirate crew started gritting their teeth, furling their eyes downward in pure anger. That's the way of the pirates! Kuro screamed out with his vein bulging out of his forehead. Vagabonds! Brats should keep their smart mouths shut. Luffy smiled. Dude, even if you were captain with 100 obedient men, you still couldn't beat Usopp. You're weak. The pirate crew immediately went quiet. What? Me? Lose to a pretend pirate, please? Oh my... Dude, you will. How amusing. Kuro raised his broken, bladed fingers, laughing even louder. But don't get cocky just because you broke my claws. Then he vanished. Tell me why I would lose to him. Luffy braced himself for the next attack. And he immediately planted his hand on his arm. Dude, it's your style. Just as Kuro popped up from behind him with his left hand stretched out. What? And Luffy flipped his arm all the way around and backfisted Kuro in the face. You don't even look like a real pirate, dude. You lack righteousness. And Kuro crashed right into the rocks. Plumes of dust flew into the air. The pirate crew stood shocked. Gasp! He tracked the captain's creeping cat movement. And Kuro, on his knees, adjusted his glasses again. Now you've insulted me. If you want to talk about real pirates, let me show you just how terrifying a real pirate can be, he said with a smirk. He stood up, his head slumped over. I'll show you ferocity of a pirate who's faced 1,000 deaths. And immediately the crew knew what he was doing. That's Thurs, it's he's going to use dad attack. To which Luffy overheard what they said and listened on. He's going to use dad against a single opponent? He is. It's the out of the bag attack. He's really going to use the out of the bag attack? You fools, why are you giving away my attack? He's listening to all of you. Yeah, well, you tried to kill us. Aren't we in danger here? We'll be slaughtered too. Yeah, he'll kill us here. That's what he just said. Captain Kuro, you let me live. By all that's holy and merciful and mother of God, I'll never breathe a word about you. Hey, what about the rest of us? We gotta live too. Dude, we gotta beat this guy up now because he wants to survive. I won't say anything either. I'm begging. The entire pirate crew cried like babies as Luffy looked back in pure disgust. Dude, what is this? This is not radical. Please, Captain, don't use the attack. We'll do whatever you say. What's the big deal? He's just slouching. What a wimp. Out of the bag! Kuro screamed out with a cat's roar. And suddenly the trees went, ooh! Meanwhile, on the ship, on the pirate ship.
Ah, too bad,
Nami said.
I thought there'd be much leisure. I wonder now how the fight's going. Why are they just standing around and what's with all the oohing going on there? Is it all over?
And she saw below the horror that is Captain Kuro. Ah, let's be good. What, dude? What's happening over there? Look, it's the end. Each one getting sliced and blood splaying all across the ground, one by one dropping to the ground. And all Luffy could do is watch on in shock as he's figuring out what in the world is this. And suddenly there was a slash beside the cliff. Dude, he's attacking the wall. What did it ever do to you? Ah! Screamed another pirate as his entrails spilled out of his belly. Captain Girl, please stop! Another one dropped from behind. It's no use. He's attacking everything he sees. Another pirate dropped down. Pools of blood laying all across the dirt, creating a sea of red like none has ever seen. He's moving so fast, even he doesn't know what he's slashing. He won't stop until he tires out. And that's when Luffy realized, Nami in total horror watched on.
What's going on down there? Why is they're being sliced to pieces by an invisible blade? He's wiping out the whole crew.
He is hard, said another guy as his spleen trickled out from the side of his wound. Hey, yeah, help! Luffy was in total horror. Sweat slowly spilled down his side of his cheek. Try to stay small. Oh. Another one fell over. His artery on his leg gushed blood out like no other. Yeah. Luffy was in total disgust, even while ignoring the slice that went across his chest. Ah! Another pirate fell down. And suddenly, Luffy, his eyes turned red like a bull, his teeth firmly gritted like a Mike Tyson Punch-Out character. He screamed out, "Show yourself, dude!" Yeah! He heard another one. "Don't you care about your own crew? What kind of non-righteousness is this?"
"Ugh, Luffy,"
Nami says she heard him. To be continued. One Piece by Eiichiro Oda, Chapter 38. One Piece by Eiichiro Oda, Chapter 39. For whom the bell tolls. Doom! That is the sound Luffy is giving as he ignored every single slice Kuro has delivered onto his arms and his waist. He continued watching in horror as each member of the pirate crew collapsed onto the ground with entrails spilling out and hearts popping out of their chests, their backs, their spines exposed, sea of blood red spread across the mound, the face of the mound, the hill that is full of blood. Their screams was horrifying. All Luffy's eyes turned red. Nami watched in sadness as all these guys died one after the other. Yeah! And Luffy screamed out once again, "Show yourself, butler dude." And that was when the sound of the clank, the slicing of the side of the hill was heard from behind. Luffy stood very quietly. He could hear the sound of whooshing coming closer and closer. And suddenly he got sliced across the belly. Dude. Luffy immediately lurched back in a perfect arc as a blood geyser shot up into the air. His hands, with a fast reflex, grabbed Captain Kuro. And he flipped Captain Kuro over, making him crash land on the ground, permanently stopping him from his attack. And as Kuro laid across the ground, Luffy smiled. "I got you, dude." "Curse you," Kuro said, getting back onto his feet. "Why don't you just die? Look at this." He presented the dead down below. "It's all your fault. Instead of dying quickly, my poor pawns are suffering." What survivors of his crew, covered in injuries or cowering on the ground, screamed out, "Curse you, no more, it hurts."
I don't have insurance.
Luffy just stood there in silence. You have something to say? I do, dude. And Luffy smiled, pointing at himself. I'm never going to become a pirate like you. It's not righteous. Don't worry, little fool. Captain Coral adjusted his glasses again. You could never be like me. Anyway, he lowered again, ready to repeat his next move, his signature move. I'm going to kill you. No, dude. Immediately, Luffy jumped right on top of him with the most wonderful hug imaginable. I won't let you. I love you, dude, and we're gonna make love together. That's why I'm hugging you. Now try your fancy footwork. I'm ready. Luffy smiled as he wrapped his arms and legs around Captain Coral's body. Meanwhile, back at the forest of trees.
Please stop.
Kaya screamed out.
I'll write the will. Don't hurt the children anymore. No, Miss Kaya, you can't do it. He'll kill you if you write it.
The kid screamed out as Django pressed his foot on the kid's face, while adjusting his hat and ignoring the pain of the bat on his foot.
You fool! You're not part of these negotiations. Trombone, Captain Kuru gave his orders. Tee-hee.
And suddenly he pulled his foot back and delivered a kick to the apple-haired kid.
You're all are to be killed, Trombone.
The kid screams,
If.
Kaya yells out,
Peppa.
And Django pulls off his signature Michael Jackson kick. All three kids laid across the ground at the base of the tree. Kaya was very silent as the tree screamed out,
Blasted kids, stop messing around with me.
And Kaya immediately screamed out,
If you don't stop hurting them, I'll take my own life and then you'll never have my will. Wait!
Django screamed out,
Wait! Let's not be so hasty. Hee-hee. You'll have to write the will or I'm in big trouble. No. All right, brats. All right, the brats can live. Jamo, not that they're going anywhere. They're just sleeping nicely. Hee-hee.
And Kaya proceeded to write the will on the stump of a tree with her feathered pen that she somehow happened to have along with that paper. And Django stood over watching on.
Don't forget to seal it in blood. Oh, yeah.
The kids looking at each other, wondering what they should do next.
We'll be okay if we keep playing dead. But Miss Kaya needs to be saved.
Captain always says, if you think you're going to lose, run away and hide.
Captain Usopp's not like that. He kept fighting until he was all bloody to protect us.
Well, we're not going to let Kaya die. We're Usopp's pirates.
I leave all my fortune to my butler Clydor. Oh yeah, good. It's all in order, and I didn't even have to hypnotize you. Woohoo! Now you have to die. Hee-hee. This will's no good as long as you live. You promise not to kill the children?
Kaya immediately gripped her skirt tightly.
Don't you worry. I may be a murderer, but I'm a man of my word. Hee-hee. Oh, thank goodness.
She said with the sweat pouring down her face. There she is! Usopp screamed out, and oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. Usopp pointed in the direction of where Miss Kaya is, as Solo continued running by through the forest. He immediately turned in their direction as Usopp screamed out, "Stop! Stop! Stop! There she is! Out! Ouch! You're hitting my wounds! Stop squeezing me!" There she is! Thank goodness! She's alive! They said as Django raised up his chakram, ready to slice her throat out. But she's in trouble, Zolo immediately dropped Usopp and began. Oh. Oh, sorry, that's his.
But she's in trouble. Put me down.
With pleasure, fool. Stop right there, hypnotist. Zolo screamed out as he charged at them. It's too far. Can I get there in time? He thought to himself.
What? He's coming after me through the trees? Oh no.
Kaya noticed Zolo's in the distance, but Django immediately grabbed her by the throat and held onto a kung fu grip.
I better finish this quick. Oh yeah.
And the kids got up and started running after him.
We won't let you.
And they tackled him from behind. What did they just do? Oh, okay. They tackled him under his feet. All right, they tackled directly into his legs. and Django immediately makes a kissy face.
Ooh. You lousy brats. I'm gonna end you by throwing you up in the trees. Oh yeah.
Ah! The kid screamed out. Solo speeding up even faster as he got closer and closer.
Ha 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 ha. One step too late, Sash Man.
I don't think so, Solo said with a smirk, and he immediately delivered a quick slice on the tree, which it screamed, "Ah, my branch!"
Oh, good,
Usopp said as he watched on.
That branch was in the way. What? My arm? What did I ever do to you?
The tree screamed out as Zolo got closer to Django.
Usopp!
He screamed out,
Captain!
And Zolo smiled as Usopp stretched his slingshot back, aimed, and screamed out,
Take this, hypnotist!
Meanwhile, back at the hill. Blast you, let go of me. I don't go that way. Nah, dude, your 3-year plan is a failure. That's why I got you.
What? He's got Captain Kuro if he wins. Does that mean we don't get croaked? Yeah, get him, Rubber Boy! Kill Captain Kuro!
Suddenly, the survivors screamed out with cheer. However, Luffy looked at them with pure anger. However, he ignored them and hit Kuro. He hit Kuro with a headbutt. Dude. He pushed Kuro down very hard, and Luffy tucked his head further down. Oh. And then he stretched his whole head back, his whole neck back, and with furious anger, he looked right at the surviving pirates. Dudes, who said you could root for me? Punks.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get you guys next. Just you wait. Get him. No, impossible. My plan, it cannot fail. Kuro screamed out as he struggled to break free of Luffy's grasp. Meanwhile, back at the Forest of Trees,
Secret technique, exploding stars!
Usopp screamed out, releasing the pellet. Django stood there in shock and horror at how fast it was flying at him. It struck him in the face with a plume of smoke, the sound of a boom as Kaya covered her ears and dropped to the ground.
Ugh!
And the kids... Oh, and then Luffy screamed out, Bell, dude. And his whole entire head flew right at Kuro at high speed and struck him in the face hard. His glasses fell off. His blood splurted out of his mouth. Pain ensued. To be continued. One Piece, Chapter 39, by Eiichiro Oda. Alright. Oh man, that was One Piece. It looks like this fight is finally coming to an end. It's still going on, but um, at least the pacing. The one thing I do want to give credit for is that at least it's not the same fight. Like they do switch the matchups and everything. At the very least, saying I give him credit for that one. Oda credit for that one because it could have been much worse. It could have been much worse. But yeah, chapter 37 had some good had a good fight between Kuro and Luffy. Um, Very nice little standoff with that T pose going on there, and the trees going ooh. But I especially like right down here once they start throwing their attacks. It shows that they don't just exchange punches and kicks and everything. You know, saying you make a move and then you make a move. This is actually happening at the same time. Kuro starts diving at Luffy while Luffy is coming for the hit, and then seamlessly we see Kuro doing a counter, and this whole entire sequence was very well done. Very good fight. The fights actually got a little better this time around. Got much better because everything is moving nice and seamlessly, and it's pretty good. I like especially like the way this was drawn, showing the movement of the spinning leading up to to that JoJo pose right there. It's pretty cool. But it's very but the fighting it's been very consistent here. Especially with his T pose, his T pose right up there drawing the pistol. But ultimately, we get Kuro's backstory, which was very interesting. What was motivating him, which was pretty cool. But we get to see some origins here with what was his name? Captain Morgan. That's it, Captain Morgan. I couldn't remember his name, and I have it written down here. Very dumb. But we get the origins of Captain Morgan, which is pretty awesome. We get to find out how his jaw got busted and everything. So again, this is very good writing on Eiichiro Oda's part. Like he doesn't waste any of the characters. He can circle back around very easily. I think that's amazing. I think that's amazing writing. Very good, strong writing that you can go back to your previous characters and link them with another character without making it so much as a coincidence. Like this is not a coincidence of Luffy or anything. It just shows that that it's a small world, even though it's very large. I like that. I'm sure there'll be other pirates that don't know Captain Morgan or any of that. But the fact that Oda can circle back to Morgan, showing how it happened, but without having Luffy coincidentally just happen to be there. By doing it through this backstory, this really gives a great dynamic in Oda's writing approach. This is the first execution of such a feat. So I can't imagine how in the later chapters he's able to make this capability more highly efficient. Like this was very effective, but I can't wait to see him doing more of these type of callbacks and showing how these characters linked up with each other and so on. It was pretty freaking amazing that he was able to pull that off without making it seem contrived or coincidental or anything. It was great, and allowed us to get to find out what happened to other characters, whether it's their origins or not. So the potential is very amazing. I look forward to seeing more of that down the line, and then we get the chapter 38 with more fighting. This time we got those kids. Quite honestly, taking on Django, and in the forest of trees. Very underutilized Zolo and Usopp. It's something that I'm not a big fan of though. Though I can understand why, but it just feels like basically what I feel like it's telling me is that Um, Luffy and his crew, with their skill set, could take down Kuro and Django together if all of them were together. But the fact that they keep getting separated, and then a couple, well, basically three of them, Usopp, Zolo, and Nami, all got set to the side. They got pushed to the side. You know what I'm saying? They got pushed to the side, and that resulted in not seeing them in action. Well, I understand it's to focus a lot on, to try to put the focus on Luffy and Kuro as a fight. Um, Casting them aside just so that way three little kids can take on this Michael Jackson, pseudo Michael Jackson character in Django. Um, I don't know. I'm not sure. I mean, I know there's gonna be a payoff in the end and everything, but like I said, it just feels like this was pretty forced. Like your villains are supposed to be strong, and they should be strong enough to take on Luffy and the pirate crew. At the very least, they got Django and the captain, and Captain Crow. That he's first mate and captain. They should be the strongest to be able to fight these guys. Instead, we got these kids here. I'm very critical on that one. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that they were there just to push aside who we really want to see, and that's Usopp and Zolo. And not only that, but we don't even get to see Usopp, really see Usopp shine. Like, what can he really do in the fight? We get to see Nami at least from time to time, and we know Zolo can fight. But the fact that Usopp, which this should be his fight, his battle, doesn't get to, doesn't get to be shown, what he's capable of doing, is very disappointing. Instead, we get three little kids doing the job here, and that's very disappointing. And then we find out that he has this ultimate move, which the trees ood. See, and then again, here's here's Nami cast aside. She's not doing anything but stealing, which is normal. That's fine, but do a little bit more. We need a little bit more here. But yeah, I mean, it can be argued this is still early Oda, and he's trying, trying to understand how to do everything. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, from the outset, casting us, not letting Usopp shine and taking on one of these guys on his own, and letting a bunch of kids do it, just it kind of hurts Usopp a bit. So hopefully later down in the chapters, Usopp will finally get to shine and everything and do his thing, because he's not shown to be a coward here in any way, shape, or form. You know what I'm saying? He's got a sense of determination and everything. Like, I really like Manga Usopp here when introduced. He's not the boy who cried wolf type of character like that. He really does believe in his piracy, and he really, does stand up and everything. He's not a sniveling coward trying to hide or anything. Unless this characterization changes as chapters go along, that kind of thing. But let's see here. Yeah, and then Luffy gets mad at the the pirate crew for turning code and being all cowardly and cheering him on. And in the final chapter of the set, chapter 39, we're watching the bloodbath, like really blood, and we get to see more characterization from Luffy here. He doesn't like what he's seeing. He even though he doesn't like these type of pirates, he just doesn't see the honor in it. Like, he really sees honor in piracy, honor among thieves kind of thing. And this is due to Shanks. You know what I'm saying? Like, Shanks's influence is shown there. But again, this is what more of the reality that Shanks is trying to tell him, that not all pirates are like Captain Shank and his crew, where you have camaraderie and honor among thieves kind of thing. This is something that can legitimately happen in piracy, and the fact that that Luffy feels it could be more than just that is a testament to what type of heart he has as a character. And then Nami, of course, just in shock watching this whole thing. Like, she's got this nice pity face. This is a very well drawn pity face here. You know what I'm saying? She's just pitying them. It's like, yeah, you're throwing your lives for this kind of thing. And that's pretty good. That's a pretty nice drawing of that face, that expression. That's a very difficult thing to pull off in a lot in manga. Like, I don't see that a lot in manga when I look at this type of pity face, you know, and express that type of expressiveness. It's pretty good, very well done. But yeah, we get looks like we're getting the final. We got to the final fight here. You know, Django got what he wanted again with these kids. Again with these kids. So yeah. And then we get Usopp having his hero moment, of course, while the kids tackle Django. One of the most funniest faces I've seen yet. Where's this at? Here we go. Seriously, what a detailed drawing up here of Django. I don't know if he got. No, he didn't get hit in the balls, but my gosh, what a face! What a drawing! This is by far one of the best I've seen in Oda here. That it's like. I can't even imagine what the Japanese characters here for Shake and Quiver were. Just so he could slap the kids to the side. But this is but yeah, Zolo knew he wasn't going to make it in time, but he just made sure he had enough room by slicing the poor tree's branch and pulling off his move. Of course, then that's when they started switching back and forth between Luffy's signature move and both of their signature moves. So we get to really see more signature moves here. Hilariously. Is it here? Let me see. No, it's not here. When Luffy head stretched all the way back, telling him, I'm gonna take you guys down. And we just ended off with this here, where Usopp pulls off his signature move, Luffy pulls off his signature move, and both Django and Kuro get taken out, which is pretty cool. Very well drawn. Nice plume here. We get to see that the exploding stars is a very big explosive, and to the face too. Oof, that's painful, but not as painful as Kuro's head getting bashed in like that. Now that is a drawing here. Very, very well done. You could really see the impact. You could see the punch, like the kick into that hit. You could see the pain. You could really see the pain in this face here. Very good. Very, very well done. So hopefully now the fight is done. I doubt it, but we'll see. We'll soon see what happens. But nevertheless, overall, a very excellent fight. I still don't think we need the kids. But you know, it's shonen. It's early Oda. I'm sure he started trimming the. I'm sure as the chapters went along, he trimmed out the fat and removed, the unnecessary characters and all this, and really kept it nice and focused and refined in a way that everyone loves, and I can't wait to see more of that. So that's it. Thank you all for joining me. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, follow. You know you want to. If you're interested in more, you can. If you're interested in more, Oh yeah. More. Just join me. You could join me here. You could join me on my live stream. If you want to catch the readings live on Twitch and Kick multi-stream. If you're interested in books, you could get yourself a copy of my strange fantasy novel, The Impossible Man. You can find that link down below. If you want to contribute, you can go over here to the Patreon. If you're interested in showing your support, lending your support, more than welcome to. It's an invitation, not an obligation. And finally, finally, if you want to get some merch, you can. Well, now I forgot everything. Oh well. I think I got everything. Yes, and on Thursdays, if you're interested in checking me out as I rewrite my latest story, Trucker no Boken, for shisetsu.com in English and Japanese, you could join me on my live multi-stream Twitch and Kick every Thursday at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There we go. So thank you all for joining me. And I wish you all a good night, buenas noches, and oyasumi nasai.